Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is Dea Arlia and I'm an undergraduate information system student at Andalas University. In this occasion, I am going to share two interesting topics with you. First, I will walk you through the specifications of the laptop I use as an IT student, and for the second part, I will compare the software I use with what my friend who is studying in a non-IT field uses. It's gonna be a fun comparison, and who knows, you might find it helpful too. Now, I know these two topics might seem unrelated, but hey, that's what the assignment asked for. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, I'm going to talk about my current laptop, the Lenovo ThinkPad T14. Actually, it's a second-hand unit, but it's been a reliable companion for my studies as an IT student. Let me walk you through its specs and share the reason why I chose this laptop in the first place. Before we dive into the specs, I want to share a little backstory. So when I was looking for a new laptop, my dad was on a tight budget, but he still wanted to get me something that could handle the demands of an IT degree. So we needed something that's affordable yet powerful enough to for coding, multitasking, and running programs. That's when we find this Lenovo ThinkPad T14. It was secondhand, but the specs were solid and the price was within our range. So here we are. Under the hood, it's powered by a 10th generation Intel Core i5-10310U processor. It has the base speed of 1.70 GHz, which can boost up to 2.11 GHz when needed. For my daily tasks like coding, multitasking between apps, or maybe just simply watching YouTube videos, it's been more than enough. It might not be the most powerful laptop out there, but it gets the job done without breaking the bank. It comes with 16 GB of DDR4 RAM, which is great for smooth multitasking. I can have multiple tabs open, run IDE software, and even test my projects without any lag. For the storage, it has a 256 GB of NVMe SSD. The SSD makes booting up and loading apps super fast, which is a huge plus if you're rushing to finish an assignment. While 256 GB isn't massive, it's enough for my documents, software, and a few personal files. The laptop has 14-inch IPS display with a 1920 by 1080 Full HD resolution. The colors are accurate and the viewing angles are wide, which is nice for watching tutorials or working on projects. For the graphics, it uses Intel UHD graphics, which is pretty decent for everyday tasks. It's not a gaming laptop, but it can handle light gaming or design work if needed. One thing I really appreciate about this laptop is its practicality. It has a backlit keyboard, which is super helpful when I'm working late at night. It also has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi for connectivity, and a built-in webcam for online meetings or online classes. The port selection are great too. There are USB, USB-C, HDMI, and an audio jack, which is super helpful because I don't need to carry around extra adapters. It runs on Windows 11 Pro 64-bit genuine, so I didn't have to worry about activation or security. It also came with some essential softwares pre-installed like Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Office, VLC Media Player, K-Lite Codec, PDF Reader, and etc. Some of these are the tools that I actually use regularly, so it was a nice bonus. The battery life is okay. It lasts around 2 to 5 hours, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm just typing or browsing, it can go for a while, but if I'm doing heavy tasks like coding or running projects, running programs, it can drain faster. Even watching some YouTube videos can drain it faster. And since it's a second-hand laptop, there are some minor scratches from normal use, but honestly, I don't really mind. The hardware is in good condition and everything works perfectly. It's a reminder that always you don't always need a brand new device to get things done. So that's my Lenovo ThinkPad T14. It's not the newest or the fanciest laptop out there, but it's been a great fit for my needs as an IT student. More importantly, it was the practical choice for my family's budget at the time, and I'm really grateful for that. In the next part of this video, I will talk about the comparison between the softwares that I use with the softwares that my friend who is a non-IT student uses. It's going to be an interesting comparison, so stay tuned. Now let's move on to the second part of this video. I'm going to compare the software that I use as an IT student with the softwares that my friend in her non-IT field uses. We will be looking at MediBang Paint, Visual Studio Code, Adobe Illustrator, and Borland C++ Builder 6. Let's break it down and see how they stack up against each other. First, let's talk about what these software tools are used for. MediBang Paint is a digital art software used for drawing, painting, and creating illustrations. It's popular among artists and designers. Visual Studio Code is a code editor used by developers for writing, debugging, and testing codes. It's a must-have for IT students and professionals. Adobe Illustrator is a vector graphics editor used for creating illustrations, logos, and designs. It's a staple in the creative industry. Borland C++ Builder 6 is an IDE used for building C++ applications. It's a tool for software development, though it's quite outdated now. So we have two creative tools and two technical tools. Each serves an entirely different purpose depending on whether you're in a creative or technical field. Now let's talk about cost. MediBang Paint offers free version, but it also has premium features that require a subscription. My friend uses the free version, which is still quite powerful. Visual Studio Code is completely free with no premium tiers, making it one of the most budget-friendly tools for developers. Adobe Illustrator is part of Adobe Creative Cloud Suite, which costs almost $60 per month, making it one of the most expensive tools on this list. Borland C++ Builder 6 is cheaper and even free if you find the older versions online, but it's not widely used anymore. So in terms of cost, Visual Studio Code is the cheapest, followed by MediBang Paint free version, then Borland C++ Builder 6, and finally Adobe Illustrator, which is the most expensive on this list. Next, let's compare reliability. MediBang Paint is stable and reliable for digital arts even in its free version. Visual Studio Code is highly reliable for coding with its frequent updates and a large community for support. Adobe Illustrator is also reliable for design work with its regular updates and polished interface. Borland C++ Builder 6, while reliable on its time, is outdated and may not be as stable in modern systems. Overall, Visual Studio Code and Adobe Illustrator is the most reliable, while Borland C++ Builder 6 is the least reliable due to its old age. Now let's talk about how easy or how difficult these tools are to use. MediBang Paint is beginner-friendly for digital art with its simple interface and intuitive tools. Visual Studio Code can be challenging for those new to coding, but it has a lot of extensions and customization options that make it easier for developers over time. Adobe Illustrator can be difficult for beginners due to its complex tools and features, but with more practice, it gets more manageable. Borland C++ Builder 6 is also challenging, especially for those who new to C++ programming, though experienced programmers might find it easier to navigate. In terms of ease of use, MediBang Paint is the most user-friendly, while Borland C++ Builder 6 is the least user-friendly, especially for beginners. Finally, let's talk about which tools are the best and the worst in their respective categories. For digital art and graphic design, MediBang Paint is one of the best free tools available, even without its premium features. Adobe Illustrator is also one of the best, but it's expensive. For coding, Visual Studio Code is one of the best tools out there, while Borland C++ Builder 6 is outdated and not widely used anymore. So the best tools are MediBang Paint for designers and Visual Studio Code for developers, while the worst one is Borland C++ Builder 6 due to its outdated nature. And that's a wrap. We've explored my Lenovo ThinkPad T14 and we've compared the softwares that I use as an IT student with my friends' non-IT tools. Each of those tools has its own strengths and maybe some minuses, but that's alright. At the end of the day, it's not about having the most expensive tools, but it's about finding the tools that works best for you. And I hope you find this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'm sorry if I've made any mistakes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you next time.